Hey everybody, this is Telly Savalas, and this Algebra 1 lesson is on solving systems of linear inequalities, okay? So if you haven't looked at the video, take a look at solving or graphing linear inequalities, and then this will explain when you solve them, when you have two of them, you guys. So let's begin. It'll make more sense to begin. So graph the systems of inequalities. Okay, from the last lesson, we graphed this inequality and we shaded one side of the line. And then, so this one is, we got to graph this one, shade that side of the line, graph this one, shade which side of the line on this one we're supposed to shade, and then where they overlap is your final answer, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. This one's going to be a dotted line, this one's going to be a solid line. Hopefully you guys can see that by now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the -1 first right there, put that -1, then I'm going to use this slope next and go up 2 to the right 1. So my next point is going to go up 1, 2 to the right 1. I'm going to put a point there and then put a dotted line through that. Okay, so here we go. So there's my point, dotted line. Now I got a shade. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since 0, 0 is on this side, I'm going to test 0, 0 in this inequality right here. So I want to see when I plug in 0 right here and 0 right here, will it make this inequality greater than true, you guys? So let's plug in zeros. Is 0 greater than 0 minus 1? Well, 0 is greater than -1, so this is a yes, so I'm going to shade this side of this line. Now don't get carried away and start shading yet, you guys, because what's going to happen is it's going to get really messy. So what I'm just going to do is put a little reminder here, and I'm just going to do a little arrow to remind me to shade that side of a line, because I still got to do this one here. And when I get two graphs together, it gets kind of messy. So I'm just showing with a little arrow which side of this line to shade. Okay, now let's graph this line right here. Okay, y less than or equal to -3x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to go to the +2 first right there. There's my +2 right there. And then this -3 means down 3 to the right 1. There's an imaginary number there. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1, and I'm going to put a point right there. And this one's going to be a solid line, you guys. Okay, so there it is, and there's my solid line. Again, this line is not going through 0, 0, so I'm going to go ahead and test 0, 0 on this inequality right here. So, is 0 less than 0 plus 2? And that's a yes. So that means I'm going to shade this side of the solid line over here. Okay, over here. And then where they overlap, you guys, is this little piece of pie right here. Okay, we want to know where they overlap right there. So it's going to be, your final answer is going to be that mess right there. Okay, that little piece of pie right there. Okay, actually that'd be a big old piece of pie. So this little area from here to here. Okay, all right, that's the area. And don't cover up that dotted line, because the dotted line is not included. That's why it's dotted. It is not included, so you don't shade it also. But you can shade all the way. I mean, if you want to get crazy with your ink or something, you can shade, but don't shade the dotted line. It has to be shown as dotted because it's not being shaded. Okay, so let's graph this system of inequalities right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see, I'm going to go ahead and graph this guy. I subtracted y from both sides. I went -y because I got it in standard form right there. Then I did the zeros trick on that. So when x equals 0, I have -y equals 1. So y would be -1. So that would be this guy right here. 0, -1. And then when y equals 0, cover up the y, you get 2x equals 1. So x would be a half. So that's this one right here, 1/2, comma 0. Okay, this is a solid line because of the equals bar. All right, and then I'm going to test 0, 0. So 0, 0 is on this side. So 0 plus 0 is not greater than 1 right there. You can test it in this one or you can test it in this one. I think I tested it in this one, yeah, right here. So 2 times 0 is not greater than 0 plus 1. So I'm not going to shade the side that 0, 0 is on. I'm not going to shade this side. I'm going to shade this side over here. So let me go ahead and put an arrow so it's a reminder, because I still have to graph this guy next. Let's go ahead and graph that guy. Okay, so I did the zeros on those ones also, you guys. When x equals 0, I get 2y equals -2, so y equals -1. There's that guy right there. And then when y equals 0, -x equals -2. So x is going to equal a +2. Okay, so there's that one. This also is a solid line because of the equals bar. And then I'm going to test 0, 0 again on this guy right here. So here we go, testing 0, 0. And since 0, 0 is on this side of the red line over here, and it made it a yes statement, and I'm shading this side of the red line, this side over here of the red line, over here, and then this side of the blue line over here, and where blue and red intersect, they make purple, and so I'm going to have a purple shaded in this little pie right there, because it's going to be on this side of the red line and at the same time on this side of the blue line, so that's where they both intersect. I'm interested in that purple section right there. Okay, so that's the final answer right there. Okay, that's a pretty good looking picture right there, isn't it? Man. All right, okay, here's 3 of them, you guys. Let's try 3 of them. Okay, so here's my graph. Okay, so there's X oh, dang it. I put it on the wrong one. Pretend like that's -2 right there. Gosh darn it. Okay, just pretend like this line is down here at -2. That's my second mistake in this video. Oh well. What can I say? Okay, so just remember, just pretend it's down there. It is a solid line right there, and it is going up because greater than's above it. 0 is greater than -1, you guys, so it's above it. All right, no, that's right. Never mind. I was looking at this. I'm good, you guys. Never mind. Y is greater than -1. I'm good. X is greater than -2 is going to be over here, and it's going to be a dotted line. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm safe. Ooh, yeah, I am. Okay. All right, now, so I know it's going to be greater than, so everything to the right is greater than on this one. 0 is greater than -2. 0 is greater than -1, so I'm shading above the purple to the right of the red. And then now we got to insert this guy. So I'm going to do the zeros on this guy. So when I do the zeros, when x is 0, 2y equals 4, so y equals 2. And when y is 0, x equals 4. So there's those points right there. I'm going to connect them with a solid line. Here we go, with a nice solid line, and then plug in 0, 0. Is 0 plus 2 times 0 less than or equal to 4? That would be yes. So remember, it's above the purple. It's to the right of the red, and it's below, because 0, 0 works, it's below the blue. So it's in this little, looks like a right triangle right here. Okay, so I'm going to shade in that little right triangle, and that's my final answer. Okay, now if you're, depending on which class you're in, and you have the textbook, you can do the page 437, 3 to 17 odds. If you have the workbook, you can do pages 108 to 109, 1 through 12, all. Or you can have a worksheet that your teacher feels is more appropriate.